This is Outnumbered. I'm Andrea Tanteros, and here with us today, Harris Faulkner, co-host of After the Bell on our sister network, Fox Business's Melissa Francis is back. Kirsten Powers is also here, columnist for USA Today. And today's hashtag one lucky guy. He doesn't have his gavel, he doesn't have his robe, but he has his brain. Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano is here, and he's outnumbered. You also brought your laugh, which we love.
Oh,
hey, where's the gavel? We want the gavel. Why no gavel?
It's in the attic.
Oh, okay. John Scott asked, and I promised I would look for it.
All right.
So now I know. I got to go to your attic to
time.
get it. That sounds like fun.
And a little fun fact about the judge, your office looks like a judge's chambers.
It does.
It's very cool.
Thank you.
It is
should do
with
the
a
show
big
from there.
leather chair. Very
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you.
All right, well, Hillary Clinton continuing her version of an apology tour for her use of private emails while she was America's top diplomat. This time, her first Sunday show appearance in 4 years. While the Democratic frontrunner insists that she did nothing wrong, she admits that she has, in previous interviews, could have done things a little differently.
I've said that I didn't make the best choice. I should have used 2 separate email accounts, one personal, one work-related. What I did was allowed. It was fully above board. People in the government certainly knew that I was using a personal email, but I've tried to be transparent, and that includes releasing 55,000 pages, which is unprecedented. Nobody else that I'm aware of has ever done that.
What also caught our eye was Hillary's answer to 2016, appearing to be the year of the outsider, and whether that puts her in a bit of a fix. Listen to this.
I cannot imagine anyone being more of an outsider than the first woman president. I mean, really, let's think about that.
Now, I agree, but
I mean,
your
if you
name,
line up, if you know, all these mothers and fathers bring me the placemats with all the presidents, and they bring their daughters, and they say, my daughter has a question for you, and the daughter says, how come there are no girls on this placemat? So
I agree that is a difference.
I think that's a pretty big, unconventional choice.
But you know what I'm asking.
Hillary Clinton, former First Lady, politician for 2 decades, is an outsider, Judge Andrew Napolitano. If you just keep saying it over and over, I think the Clintons think
will believe it.
Maybe they will.
Former Secretary of State, former First Lady, former United States Senator from the state of New York for 8 years, consummate politician then and now. On the other hand, I don't blame her for trying to make this argument, because if it appeals to people, if people don't look beneath the surface, it might help her. I'm far more concerned about what she said in the earlier tape about it was allowed. That is, the use of the private email and the private email server. It was not allowed. There are at least 4 criminal statutes that she arguably broke by what she did. A conspiracy to evade the espionage laws of the United States by entering into an agreement with others to divert national security secrets away from the government. Theft of government property. When you work for the government and you use emails, the government owns your emails. If you commingle it with personal emails, the government owns those as well. She did return 55,000 pages. She printed the emails, thereby keeping from the government all the metadata that the government was entitled to had she given them the digital version. But the most serious thing she probably did is to send classified materials to people who did not have national security clearances. That's what exposes her to a near certain indictment.
Judge, before we open it up to the rest of the couch, I have to ask this question because it's the question I get constantly on Twitter, constantly stopped on the street. Will she be indicted? What is taking the FBI so long, and will it happen?
Well, because of who she is and because of the controversy around all of this, the FBI is not going to recommend an indictment until every I is dotted and every T is crossed, and they don't have all that information yet. But the way it works is the team that's investigating her, which is the same team that investigated and asked for and got the prosecution and conviction of General Petraeus, will make a recommendation to their superiors in the Justice Department. What do you think the Justice Department will do? Call the West Wing of the White House. If the West Wing says we don't get involved in these things, she'll be indicted. If the West Wing blocks it, you will then see significant resignations on the part of some of the highest people in the FBI who simply will not tolerate the political interference with the enforcement of the country's most sensitive laws.
You know what's interesting about what the judge just said? You were talking about metadata that she would have kept from the hands of the government by just handing over the printed pages. Think about how much metadata they have on all of us, and we're not being investigated by the FBI. It's just kind of ironic that she took that right out of their hands when you know, we had to go through Congress to get our metadata
well, you know,
protected.
one of the funniest lines I've heard about her unwillingness to be forthcoming with Congressman Gowdy's Benghazi committee is, why go to her? Go to the NSA.
Right.
They have everything already.
You know, I would say this, though, Andrea, about the whole thing with the I am a real person and, you know, I'm an outsider, because what else would a woman as president be? Is that like a new spin on how to play the girl card again? Like just coming right back to the woman, like I'm an outsider. I'm automatically everything you want me to be. Just check every box because I'm a woman?
Right. Well, that's what her point was. I mean, that was sort of her follow-up. She said, I'm an outsider because as a woman running for president, Melissa, I'm the only girl over here on the left. Poor little me.
That's a
By the way, I'm a
genetic
woman.
fact.
I'm
You
a
know
woman.
what?
Yes, we get you're a woman. We get it, Hillary. We get it.
I actually think it's a decent answer. I mean, she had to point to the one thing that makes her different. I was more listening to how tight her voice is, how stressed and strained she was with that answer. I mean, that is still such a hard answer for her, as she tried to say, well, I'm the placemat and the whole story, and you were kind of not really getting where the story was going. I mean, I would have said something like, outsider, I'm the one who's going to get the job done. I know what I'm doing. I mean, why did she sort of accept the premise and then go? There was a better answer in there.
Yeah, I mean, Kirsten, she can't seem to deviate from this woman card that she keeps playing. I mean, she seems to think that if she can just galvanate people to support her to be part of that historic vote that Barack Obama saw, the first black president, now she's saying it's my turn, I'm the first woman president. She seems to think if she can just stay on this talking point, people will eventually feel like, okay, we'll give you your chance.
Well, I think that the campaign, and I think she feels that they didn't do that last time, and they regret it. And so, and then this time, this is a key part of. There are a lot of people who say that this is a history-making vote, and they're supporting her no matter what. The problem with what she said is she was also making more of an argument for Carly Fiorina. Because, you know, if you want a woman's face on the placemat, well, there's actually another woman running, and she is an outsider. So, you know, it's not, if we're just going to go based on, you know, lady parts, then, you know, there's another lady running.
It just seems really...
I love that.
I don't think Kirsten usually is coming in with the good joke on this segment, but you won that one. That was nice. Well, good job.
Hashtag lady part.
If you're gonna go the lady part route, stick with the lady parts. The outsider just isn't believable. All right. In the meantime, in that very same interview, Hillary Clinton was asked to name 3 words that describe her. Watch how she answered.
I can't possibly do that. I mean, look, I am a real person with all the pluses and minuses that go along with being that. And I've been in the public eye for so long that I think, you know, it's like the feature that you see in some magazines sometimes. Real people actually go shopping.
Oh,
and to show just how real she is, there is reportedly a push in her campaign to get her up close and personal with voters. The Boston Globe, I should say, explaining to help foster more of these intimate exchanges that the Clinton campaign is focused on getting as many voters as possible in front of Clinton at a town hall-style meetings. They leave time at the end for Clinton to work the rope line and create some of those critical personal exchanges. Speaking of rope lines, the real Hillary did this real dance while greeting supporters at a rope line in New Hampshire over the weekend.
Wow.
Okay, so I do remember the one town hall, Kirsten, where she told someone to get to the back of the line. It's not your turn. That was really the real Hillary, I think. But what about this? I mean, when you have to convince voters that you're a human being and not a robot, don't you think it's a problem?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, if you talk to people who know her, I've only spent a limited time around her. She actually is a really lovely person, and a lot of people don't want to hear that. But she's funny and she's engaging, and you know, and so I don't think that she's a bad person or an unfriendly person. But it doesn't. Like with so many politicians, she's not able to sort of translate that. And so you don't want to be saying things like, I'm a real person, which is reminiscent.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, it's a reminiscent of, you know, the first George Bush saying message, I care, when he was supposed to just be saying, I care, right? Because the teleprompter said message.
Right.
And so it's a little bit like, you know, and the shopping thing. She doesn't go shopping. Does she go shopping? I mean, what is she talking about?
She colors her hair. She does yoga. She's a human being, Judge. She is not a machine. But I think she's maybe trying to recreate what her husband did with that I feel your pain moment.
Yes.
which was natural, and believe me, it worked, but she's not Bill.
Oh, she does not have her husband's charisma. She also doesn't have her husband's joy of campaigning and interacting with people. Whether he loved it or not, I don't know, but he certainly seemed
But he
to
made
love
you
it.
think that he did.
Yes, he did. And when she starts doing the rope line, it's faked.
It does look like
It's
a robot dance,
faked.
though. You know, as you watched her this weekend, though, one of the things that she said that I thought really was odd was, I can even talk about Kim Kardashian with the voters. That actually doesn't make you seem more relatable, because you probably have met them, and most average Americans have not met the Kardashians.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, even in her sort of trying to kind of bring it back to the I know what y'all are talking about moment, it's like, yeah, but we don't actually know them.
Yeah.
Well, Harris, you and I were cracking
potentially.
up because the night of the debate, when we were doing the post-debate online coverage, she had posted a picture, a selfie with Kim Kardashian.
My point
I guess
exactly.
she thought maybe she could get
Just
the
like us.
Kardashian vote. But I love how Harris was just doing the robot dance. I was like, maybe that's what Hillary's trying to do. She was doing the robot.
So uncomfortable to watch her. I mean, you watch her in that interview, she gets more and
But
more.
it's a fun
her
dance.
eyes get bigger, she gets more manic, and it's really uncomfortable to watch. In 3 words, how can you not? I mean, who can't do 3 words? You know, I'm a wife, a mom, and a journalist. 3 words. I mean, I don't know, 3 words to describe yourself. That's one of the easiest things to do off the cuff if you're natural. And she just looks so incredibly uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable to watch her. I think she should stop trying to be warm and
You know,
Malay.
I want to ask you a quick question, Andrea, because you've done messaging for campaigns. Is it that she can't label the words, or that she doesn't know which ones to pick? Do you think she's being coached on, you got to hit this point every time you're asked a question?
I do, and I think Kirsten brings up a really good point. I mean, I've met Hillary too, and behind the scenes, she is lovely. She is a nice person. When she gave that Iran speech 2 weeks ago, and she was so tough and so fierce, I thought she needs to be more true to herself and be that. Maybe a little bit of Carly Fiorina, not smiling. I mean, just be tough, because people don't care that she knows Kim Kardashian. People don't care that she can talk about Kim Kardashian, Kirsten. They care that she can get the job done. These are serious times, and she's looking like an unserious, inauthentic person.
And she doesn't win points or voters when she looks unserious or inauthentic.
Yeah. No, and I did think in that interview, it seemed like she was trying, you know, like they said to her before she went on, like, be a real person, you know, and so then she's like,
funny,
okay, I'm gonna be a real person.
Oh, yikes, but don't say
and
it.
it's not comfortable for her.
No.
Right.
And she's got the same 2 advisors, and she's so paranoid it seems like she won't really listen to anyone else. All right, well, 2 of the top Republican candidates for president are feeling the heat for what they said and didn't say about Muslims. This was going on all weekend, folks, a huge story. Now the fallout for Ben Carson and Donald Trump, and whether it's fair. Plus, ESPN under fire after posting a fan picture on its social media accounts that some are saying is sexist. The broadcaster saying that the photo shows the sights and sounds of the college game day experience. But is it too much? And right after the show, catch more from the couch on the web. We bring the judges' chambers right here to this studio. Outnumbered Overtime by logging on to foxnews.com/outnumbered. Click that OT tab. We'll do the robot. We'll talk legal issues. You can ask the judge anything. Harris will dance. She's logging on now. It's a great time.